In today's video, why you can't lose on 1,200 calories. Get out of my way, you're in my zone.
All by myself.
We can't both be in the off season. Too beefy. We're gonna address a question today because it came from my Instagram direct message, which I'll put on the screen. I'll also put Steven's on the screen because guess what? He can answer your damn questions too.
Yeah.
You got some qualifications. What do you got?
Master's degree.
You sure seem smart. Yeah, anyway, Andy's been coaching for me for a long time now, so.
Yeah.
Bottom line is the dude knows some stuff. So we're going to talk about the question of why is a person who's doing 1,200 calories, 65 minutes of cardio, I'll put the question on the screen here, and doing 2 refeeds a week, which seems like a very reasonable approach to fat loss, why they couldn't lose weight. Go, Steven.
Well, I think if you look at the screen and you say, they said, the first thing that you notice would be they said they're eating about 1,200 calories.
How much is about 1,200 calories?
That's a good question.
2,000?
Yeah. And
800?
So, first and foremost, what I would say is you have to be accountable to the diet.
Yeah.
The consistency is everything that we work off of as coach. It's being consistent. We have, some tools in the toolbox, but those tools are limited, right? So consistency has to be the basis that everything we do is built upon. If we don't have consistency, we don't have the accountability to that consistency, everything else is kind of like, oh, maybe I'll hit it, maybe I won't.
Yeah.
We're not really sure exactly.
A couple nibbles here, a couple snacks,
Right.
Can add up.
And it definitely can add up. So that would be the first thing that I would look at, would be making sure that we are in fact eating what we think we're eating. So make sure your measurements are good, make sure you're preparing your own food, make sure you're not utilizing any kind of like specialty fit snacks that may or may not have correct macronutrient profiles on them. Those types of things would be my number one go-to in terms of how do I fix this issue that I'm having. After that, I would definitely start looking at some other things, all right? Have I just been dieting and bashing my head against the wall for, however many weeks? Double refeeds are great. I like to utilize double refeeds with my clients. Some of them can tell you that. But not everybody gets double refeeds. Sometimes they work. Sometimes we need to take a diet break. There's always different things.
Well, and also when a person that says they're taking in about 1,200 calories, that implies to me that a refeed might just be a day off.
Yes.
Like the refeed that we speak of is a very specific approach to where we bump up carbohydrates and we kind of keep calories in check. This isn't something where you're just going kind of AWOL with your diet for a day or two, having a bunch of cheat meals, okay?
That's bogus.
Well, do what you want to do. But for most of us, when we're talking about a refeed, it's a very specific number. So again, if you're not being accountable, if you're having about 1,200 calories, well, what's your refeed? About 4,000? So, I'm not judging here. I'm just throwing out ideas because the question is rather vague. So this is the type of question that we often get. Like, what should I do about this? Also, when it comes to 65 minutes of cardio, you didn't say, is that per day, per week, twice a day? I'm going to assume you mean 65 minutes of cardio a day.
Correct. That's what my assumption as well.
I would consider that rather aggressive.
Yes.
So the question then becomes, what type of cardio?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I've seen, and I actually don't allow a lot of my clients to do much on the stairs because what I find is it can create a lot of extra cortisol stress response. It's very difficult on the leg musculature. It can interfere with recovery, which can then interfere with your ability to go in and train, right? That's my number one. Is I always
even some muscle loss, and when you lose muscle, metabolism slows.
Right.
Yeah, so there's going to be some negatives. The Stairmaster is what I would consider the most difficult form of steady state cardio.
Yeah, and it's not that there isn't a place and a time for it, right? But 6 hours a week, 7 hours a week, my opinion is that the only way we're going to be doing that is if we're really, really, really having a hard time.
Yeah.
That'd be the last card I pull. So typically what I've had with clients who are doing high cardio, about an hour a day, and they've said, hey, we're stalling out, and I asked them what kind of cardio we're doing. Well, we do only stairs. I said, I cut the stairs out completely. Treadmill walking only, ellipticals, recumbent bike, that kind of stuff. Immediately they dropped 2 pounds the next week. So they're able to recover better, they were able to train better, their inflammation went down, they immediately looked tighter, so that in and of itself, cardio modality can be a big benefit as well if we look at that in terms of, are we just over stressing the body to where we're not able to
recover.
Right.
I think it's the recovery, because a lot of people say, well, what about calories in versus calories out? But I think if you have so much stress, the fight or flight response, if your body's going to fight fat loss because you're so stressed. And so the next thing I would say, which you didn't really address here, which I wouldn't expect you to, would be your sleep.
Yes.
Are you getting enough sleep? Is there anxiety? So we as coaches tend to kind of look at macros, our cardio, our training, but also lifestyle. What's going on outside of the gym? What's going on outside of your life? Because that stuff matters. So if you're not getting enough sleep and you have a high amount of stress in your life, what can you do? Well, I think some people can treat sleep as a priority more.
Yes.
A lot of people treat sleep as like, oh, I'll just sleep when I'm done. Or if you start to plan your day around your sleep a little bit more, and you actually are able to sleep and wake up on a natural sleep cycle, I find that can have immediate benefits. Multiple pounds coming off.
100%. And a lot of people, if you are on the leaner side, you might be having issues with sleep. Maybe you wake up to pee a lot. Maybe you're just like, that's just one of the things that gets more difficult the leaner you get. But there are things out there that can help with that. You can make sure that you're taking things like melatonin or valerian root, things that we know can help
Just say
get
it.
better sleep.
Say it.
Core Hard.
Boom, Core Hard. So what does Core Hard have, Steven?
The Core Hard has ashwagandha KSM66, and so that helps to block cortisol response.
And I think the DIM helps too.
Yeah.
Because I've had people just take ashwagandha and not get the same response. But I feel like Core Hard has that magic formula.
It's great.
So if you're not my client, please don't take Core Hard.
But yeah, and that's something I make all my clients that are in prep take it. 8 weeks out into the show, we're taking Core Hard. And what we see is better recovery, better sleep, better mood state, better stress.
And I have a discount code. I'll put it on the screen here. It's PaulR20, just in case.
And so Core Hard can be just a godsend in terms of hard diet, prep, life craziness, just everything going on.
If you're not familiar with KSM66, look up the research. Just see the cortisol blood blunting effects. And I mean, I had my wife take it, just so that gives you an idea. My wife is a very type A, high anxiety person. She's taken Core Hard, and she's dropped so much weight the last couple of weeks. It's been crazy. But she sleeps harder on it. Yeah. So a lot of people think Core Hard, it's a hardening agent. I mean, almost I think of it as like a de-stressing sleep aid. I know it's not marketed that way, but that's what I find. My clients tell me that they're more calm. They don't react so quickly.
Right.
It has a calming effect on them, and then they sleep better. So that has a compounding effect. So I think, are you actually hitting 1,200 calories? No. What's going on with your refeeds? What type of cardio, and how is your sleep? You address those, and I promise you, if you're not dropping weight, then you just need to adjust, okay?
Yeah.
But that's going to get things going. So hopefully that answered your question. Anything else, Stevie?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys soon. If you guys are going to South Carolina, we're going to be driving up for Junior USA's. And if you don't live in the United States, sorry. We'll see you maybe at the Olympia. All right. Later.